Vigil from 1984, directed by Vincent is a bit of a weird New Zealand movie. Weird as in the feeling that it gives you watching this one. We're following a young girl called Toss, who's around about the 12 mark, as she kind of lives on a family farm with her mother, her father, her grandfather. She's very much more into her father's way of things rather than her mother's. You know, she likes to go exploring. She likes to help him out on the farm. She's not so keen on the sort of girly stuff or the ballet that the mother keeps trying to push on her. And for the first, I'd say half of the movie, maybe the first 30 minutes, it feels very fantastical, otherworldly, almost post-apocalyptic in the way that it's shot. These barren landscapes, the rolling fog that comes in, the clothing, the way they just look as if they're just treading water, surviving, getting by. Rusted remnants of a past 20th century litter the land. It just feels kind of weird. And it's not until midway through the movie that I realised it's set in the current time, or when the movie was made. But it has that kind of air and grace about it at the start that just feels unnerving. A sense of atmosphere, foreboding, worry. It just seems odd. I really did think it was set in a different time.
You giving me notice?
Yeah. You'll be finished at the end of the month.
Don't worry, missus, I'll be long gone.
You're afraid of work?
And very early on at the start of this one, Tossie's father dies, and that kind of throws the family into turmoil. The grandfather brings in this farm hand to help out Ethan, and the inclusion of him kind of throws things up in arms for a little bit. You know, you have Toss, how she's dealing with the death of her father, how she's dealing with the lack of a father figure, how Ethan comes in and she's a little bit resentful, but it starts to come around to having that male patriarchal figure at the head of the family, almost as he starts to take over, while still being kind of subjugated by Tossie's mother a lot. She's resentful of the fact, almost blaming him for the father's death at the start of the movie.
The flies got to him first, then.
Did?
Yep.
With God.
Don't know about that.
You go to God when you die.
And it's not one with a great plot to it. It's just people surviving, getting by. It's more about a coming of age story for Toss as she kind of realises her place in the world, how she fits into this, and how she doesn't have much in the way of friends or choices. She's just kind of being allowed to grow up as is, doesn't go to school, lives on the farm, enjoys her grandfather's fantasy world. And it's one of those movies that just kind of washes over you.
You got it going, Grandpa!
Before you know it, you're kind of moving along with the mood and the feeling and the atmosphere that it has. But like I said, it's not really a plot-driven movie. You don't know where it's going to go next. It doesn't matter where it's going to go next. It's about the next wave of emotions that's going to hit Toss and how it's going to affect her or the family. One of the key things that I really liked about this was the relationship between the granddad and Toss, as they both had this fantastical daydream about them, looking to achieve the almost impossible. They've got the day-to-day work that they need to do, but they kind of sideline that to look for more other things to really drive them forward.
If you don't want to be caught, you're going to have to change the way you think. Be like a deer. Really shrewd.
The relationships that Toss has with each of the sort of adult characters in this really help form the person that she's going to become, and it's nice to see how those little interactions just have those effects on her that are going to change her, mould her, shape her into the person that she's going to be. Vigil was visually, it was kind of dank. It was all browns and greens, it was muddy, it was tough, it was hard to see any warmth or a real colour coming out from it. The relationships were the driving force in this one. Like I said many times, no plot, it's all feeling and atmosphere. Like I said, there's that strange otherworldly feel about the first third of the movie that really kind of put me in the back foot. Not sure the world or the place we were in, only to realise midway through that it was the current world, just people who are living a little bit differently in this time and place. I really liked Vigil. It may not be one I go back to often, but I had an interesting time sitting watching it. I would love to know your thoughts on this movie if you've seen it. I know some of the movies that Vincent Ward has done, some of them are a little bit surprising, some of them are ones that I just don't like. Like the Robin Williams one he did later on, What Dreams May Come. I wasn't a fan of that. Anyway, maybe get to that later on. I would love to know your thoughts on Vigil. Please let me know in the comment box below. We can have a discussion about the film. There is more content up here if you want to see more of my stuff. Don't forget to hit the like button because it really helps these videos. And in the description box there are links to Patreon membership where you can join and help support the channel, or as a link to manvfilm.com where you can go and buy some cool merch. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Man v Film.